You stroll beside your 80-pound long-haired shepherd. You're breaking a bit of a sweat, but in your shorts and tanks you feel good. But then you look at Thor and he doesn't seem so well. His eyes are bright, he pants a lot and he starts pulling his leash back. But it isn't hot, you tell yourself. What's Thor up with? Thor is likely to be on his way to the heat stroke. Hi, this is Russell from Happy Lovely Dogs. In this video I want to talk about when dogs get heat stroke. How do you know if your dog has heat stroke? If your dog has heat stroke, what should you do? When dogs get heat stroke. Your dog suffers a heat stroke when it has difficulty controlling the temperature of your body. Your dog doesn't sweat like you, he has sweat glands just in his nose and in his feet's pads. And his only true remedy when he is overheated is to pant, which isn't enough sometimes. Add in the hair covering your body and the fact that your paws typically have direct touch with the heat. It's simple to see how much heater he can acquire, much quicker, and it's hazardous, that's dangerous. The typical temperature of a dog's body ranges from 100.5 to 102.5 degrees. A dog begins the heat stroke at more than 105 degrees. Irreversible organ damage may occur at around 106 to 108 degrees. It may even lead to death. How do you know if your dog has a heat stroke? So, how can you say whether your dog is warring? Certain things have to be looked for. Be very careful if the weather is warm. The longer your dog suffers, the greater the harm. Keep a thermometer always practical and check its temperature when you suspect heat stroke. Here are the symptoms of heat stroke in dogs to be careful about: excessive panting, excessive sedation. Eyes glazed, hyperventilation, increased saliva, pale or gray dry gums, glossy or dark crimson tongue or gums, fast or irregular pulse, weakness, excitement, bewilderment, disregard, abuse and/or diarrhea, collapse and rectal hemorrhage. Note: flat face breeds like buggies and boxes, older dogs and pups are much more risky. Dogs will also overheat quicker under current health problems. If your dog does not stop overheating, it may slow or cease breathing, and he will have convulsions or coma. If you see any of these symptoms, you have to act immediately. So what are you supposed to do if you believe your dog has a heat stroke? Before we continue on what should you do if your dog has a heat stroke, hit the like button so the other dog owners also can view this video. If your dog has a heat stroke, what should you do? When it comes to heat stroke, things move fast, so that as soon as you find a problem, act. 1. Get the shade into him. Because heat is the apparent issue, the objective is to move him away from direct sunshine. 2. Use cool water. Get water on its inner thighs and stomach where more big blood vessels are, and on your feet's pads. Use water flowing from the hose or hose. 3. Out-air him. To assist your dog cool off, you want to make sure that the water you put on it evaporates. Don't cover him with a blanket or a damp towel. Instead of letting the water evaporate, it creates a sauna effect. Keep him away from places like a kennel. Keep it close like a fan or air conditioner, instead. 4. Keep it in motion. Encourage your dog to stand or move gently when it refreshes. You want his chilled blood throughout his body. 5. Give him cold little amounts, not cold, water. When he gulps too much water too quickly, it may make him vomit or bloat. Give him chicken or beef broth if he doesn't want water. Never provide beverages to human performance. 6. Get it to the veterinarian. Once your dog has begun to calm down, take him immediately to his doctor. You don't want to attempt to chill your dog for too long, because you risk hypothermia. Even if your dog seems fine, a veterinarian examination is needed. You can see the underlying damage to his organs. Heat stroke effects may persist for 48 to 72 hours. Intravascular coagulopathy is the most frequent cause of mortality after heat stroke, DIC. When the blood coagulates throughout the body. This occurs. It may develop within hours or days after the heat stroke. Your dog is again the greatest method to be sure, even if your dog seems healthier. 3 homeopathic remedies for an overheated dog. It is essential to refresh your hot dog and take him to the doctor. One of these homeopathic treatments may also help him heal. Naples aconitum 6 to 30C. At first symptoms of heat stroke, this is an excellent first option. It may also seem extremely scary or nervous if your dog requires this treatment. Give up to 3 doses of 3 pellets every 10 minutes. Try one of the other treatments mentioned if it does not look better. Gelsamium 30C, the dog may appear extremely feeble and his muscles tremble. If he requires this treatment, give up to 3 doses of 3 pellets every 10 minutes. If the dog isn't better, try the following solution. 6C to 30C glononum, you may have vomiting and weakness. His gums may be pale, red, or blue. Give every 5 minutes 3 pellets. Heat stroke prevention in dogs. Prevention is the greatest treatment in the field of thermal stroke. Whether you go for a walk or your dog plays in the backyard, remember the tips. Always be mindful of temperature and heat stroke possibility. Find locations that provide your dog cover and a place for direct sunshine. Make sure your dog always has access to cold, clean water and cooling. That's all I want to talk about heat stroke in dogs treatment at home. I recommend you to check the best training for dogs in the description box below. I'm Russell from Happy Lovely Dogs. See you in the next video.